best advice ever for being an empath or a highly sensitive person, or even just a person who feels like you have heightened sensitivity. I've got 6 tools to share with you, 6 of my very best. The 6 things that I share with people who I train on empathy, I train on heightened sensitivity. I've also got a bonus one. So I've got a bonus one. Stick around to the end because the bonus one, it's a little bit more complex, but it's my favorite. All right, really quick before we dive into the 6, I want to just welcome anyone to this conversation who feels at all that they have heightened sensitivities, heightened empathy, anything along those lines. I'm not going to get into the weeds around defining what is empathy versus heightened sensitivity. These tools will help support all of those categories. Second thing I want to share before I dive into these 6 points is sensitivity is not just associated with what you were born with. This is something that I'm not sure we talk enough about in these conversations, but if you're walking a path of personal development or a path of becoming more and more conscious or more and more awake or more and more heart-centered or more and more embodied, oftentimes along with that path is heightened sensitivities increasing, a capacity to sense more of the subtle, to tap into more of what could be considered the unseen, like people's thoughts, the energy in the environment, the collective consciousness, right? So just really want to share, because I know for some people when I share this in workshops, that's an aha moment of, oh, I'm not going crazy, or, oh, I'm not just getting old. This is actually a trait or a characteristic of becoming more and more conscious, of becoming a higher vibrating being, we could say, or a more embodied being, or I don't know, we could even kind of say like closer and closer and closer toward what we could consider to be enlightenment, right? Okay, that said, let's dive into these 6. First one, actually, I'll ask you this question. I would love to hear which number is your favorite. Of these 6, which number is your favorite? So at the end of the video, in the comments below, I would love to hear which number is your favorite, which one you resonated with the most. All right, number 1, feeling into whatever word it is that you call yourself. I'm a very sensitive person. I have a high level of empathy. I have a very high EQ. Sometimes we call it like emotional intelligence. I feel everything. I sense everything. I absorb everything. So feel into, and just take a moment to think about, what is it that you say to yourself? Like if you were going to be sharing with someone you're getting to know and you were talking about yourself, how would you say it? Now, here's this tip. Can you say it in a way that you're expressing the gift of it? That you're expressing the gift of it. And that's just a tiny little tool for reframing it, for accepting it, for really stepping into this place of, I feel and see the world around me so colorfully. I really get to experience life from a deep emotional place. I really get to connect into people on an intimate level because I can feel so deeply. Here's a quick story about this. This was before I had really come to the level of acceptance that I've come to with my own HSP, with my own empathy levels, with my own EQ levels. I was on a really beautiful retreat, and it was around embodiment, and it was around sensitivities, and it was around like feminine embodiment, feminine sensitivity, and just really opening ourselves up to feeling more, sensing more, seeing more, right? And the facilitator, who I have a ton of respect for, the facilitator says to me, Sabrina, Your sensitivity is such a gift. Your sensitivity is such a gift. And it hit me. It hit me hard. Wow. I'm usually looking at it from a standpoint of it being a curse. I'm usually cursing my insane level of sensitivity, right? It was a very powerful moment. So now I'm offering that to you. By the way, if you want to know who that facilitator was, you can check out the link up here, or we'll put it in the show notes below. Very, 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 very beautiful facilitator, and that conversation that we had together is extremely powerful in a very feminine, very receptive way. Okay, point number 2. If we reframed things in point number 1, and we're really stepping into this being a gift, not a curse, a gift, not a curse. So we'll call number 1, gift, not a curse, gift, not a curse. Number 2 is we actually have to honor the challenges, the curse, if you want to call it that, to honor the challenges that come along with it, to really accept them, and to define what we need. So we honor the challenges that come with it, the overstimulation that happens, the chameleonness that might happen to us when we just become another human being, however it is for you that is challenging, whatever that is, however that expresses for you, it's to just honor it and to go, this is what's challenging for me. And this is what I need. And there's nothing wrong with what we need. There's nothing wrong with setting up supports. To set up supports for me. I need hours of meditation a day. That's me, though. That's me. I need quiet time. I need time in nature. For me. These are things for me, right? But for you, we're all extremely different. We're all so different. But it's really figuring out that know thyself piece. Know thyself and figure out what it is you need. I need this, and this, right? I need these things. That's point number 2, is to define our needs. Point number 3 is to, I know I started talking about this in point number 2. Point number 3 is, I'm gonna say this harshly, give yourself what you need. Give yourself what you need. Somehow, have those conversations with people that we love. Have those conversations. Honey, I need more quiet time. This has nothing to do with you. This is not personal to you. I love you. I adore you. I really honor and worship our time together. But for my own energetics, I need more time alone. I'm going to take an hour after work and just be alone. Just be alone. And babe, again, this is not about you. This has nothing to do with you. I love you. I worship you. I honor you. I love our time together. But this is what I need. So number 3 is we speak our needs. We communicate our needs. We give ourselves our needs. We give ourselves what we need. If we need to write down in our daily calendar, 20-minute meditation in the morning, 1 hour meditation after work, out in nature for 1 hour in the evening, quiet time reading, or whatever it is, right? Write it down. Whatever we need to do to bring it in. So step 2 is defining what we need to support ourselves, to support our systems. We have heightened nervous systems. We need to support that. What do we need? Define it. Number 3, put it into place. Put it into action. Whatever that means. All right, so that's 3. 4, I like 4. This is a big one. Also, I'm going to invite you to stay until the end because some of these will hit you in different ways. So the one that you really needed to hear might be number 6, right? It might be the bonus one. I don't know, but let's get into number 4. All right, so number 4, this is an intense one. It might require a little bit more deep diving. sometimes we are expressing the shadow side of sensitivity, of being a highly sensitive person or being an empath. Sometimes we are overplaying it. This is wild. This is intense. And let me just unpick this for us. Sometimes we are overplaying it and we're actually causing it to be worse on us than it needs to be. We're doing this unconsciously. But we're making it worse by unconscious ways that we use these labels or these traits or these characteristics to possibly get what we want. I know this is so intense and so deep and so like wild. This is shadow work, right? This is going into the unconscious. What do I have sitting in the unconscious behind my high sensitivity? Am I gaining some sort of a label? Am I gaining some sort of power? Am I gaining some sort of recognition? Am I gaining some sort of attention? Am I gaining something from this that is very ego-driven, or it could even be victimhood, right? It could even be. Now, look, I absolutely have so much compassion for heightened sensitivities. I live with extremely heightened sensitivities. I have to do all kinds of things in my environment to support my sensitivities, right? Like white noise at night, mattress has to be perfect. I have it on the visual level, I have it on the hearing level, I have it on the physical level, I have it on the emotional level, I have it on the energetic level, I have it on extraordinarily subtle levels. So I have a lot of compassion for this. I also know that when I went deep and held myself to the fire of truth, there were ways that I was overplaying my heightened sensitivity so that I could get attention, or so that I could get what I want, versus just speaking my needs. Does this make sense? It's a little bit more complicated. If you want to dive further into it, we'll put some stuff around shadow work up here, a video on shadow work, and we'll put it down in the link below. So you can dive further into that to sort of go deeper into these unconscious realms. All right, that's point number 4. All right, we're going to lighten up a little bit. Point number 5. This one I love. And it's this holding this beautiful space around ourselves for our sensitivity to change. This is a hard one to explain. Our sensitivity to shift, our empathy to shift, and us to get more comfortable with it. So let's share that, right? So if you're here, right, you're searching like ways to manage empathy, ways to deal with being a highly sensitive person. Like I've got to make a change. I've got to do something. I've got to figure this thing out, right? And there is that space for us to come into next right relationship with our sensitivity, right? To come into like more of a flow and an ease and a grace, right? And to be really leaning more into the gift versus the curse. So we hold this space for, okay, yeah, I'm gonna hold this space for it to transform, for it to get easier, for it to be more grace-filled, for it to be, whatever it is that is going to shift and evolve and change with my sensitivities, with my empathy. And, this is intense, and I'm also going to honor that this is just what it is. This is challenging and tough, right? Like this is high level shit. And I'm going to honor what it is. I'm going to honor where I am right now. I'm not going to cling or attach to it having to change, because the moment I cling and attach and need it to change, I'm usually calling it closer and making it oftentimes more challenging for myself, more unbearable for myself. There's a practice that I did, a video I did that will take you right into this territory, and it is the video that I would recommend doing right after you finish this. It is the one. It's called I Am Enough Meditation. And we'll put links at the end to that, but it's the best way to hold this both and. Both and. This, everything is all perfect right now, and it may change. And I may come into more and more of the gift-filled expression and feel more and more of the gift-filled expression versus the curse of being so sensitive, right? Okay, that's point number 5. Again, I want to hear which one is most powerful for you in the comments below. Let's go into point number 6. Point number 6 is really leaning into the gift side. Here's what I mean by that. Can we open our minds and open our beings to this possibly being one of the greatest things that we can express in the world? Just to open our minds to that of, can my sensitivity, can my empathy become a way that I serve those I love, a way that I serve the world, a way that I serve myself, my path, my mission, my purpose in life, a way that I serve my soul longings. When this hits, this is powerful. When that hits, that's powerful. When we really open up the door to the gifting that this is, because it is a very powerful and very profound gift. When we can open that channel, and I like to call this letting love pour through that gift. Letting love pour through that gift. So we almost like letting grace, becoming a channel for grace. Becoming a channel for grace and letting love pour through that gift. I've done much more on this in any of our priestess videos. So priestessing is my kind of term for channel for grace. But this is a very, very potent gift, potent skill that can be applied into any form of work we're doing in the world, whether it's raising children, it's meetings in the boardroom, it's creating a retreat, a meditation retreat, right? It is an extremely valuable gift, but it's learning to work with it. It's learning to work with it. So just being open to that and asking yourself, reflecting on that, right? How does this weave into my world? How is this a gift in my daily life, in my relationships? How does this serve? How does this serve the world? How does this serve me? How does this serve my highest good, which in turn serves the highest good of the all of everything? Okay, bonus. So here's the bonus, and we can call it number 7, but it's kind of the bonus. Discernment. So there's also a way that we can build our discernment filter. We build this capacity in ourselves to discern, right? If we're highly sensitive people, we're picking up on so many things, right? Empaths, we're picking up on so many things. We're picking up on thoughts, we're picking up on feelings, I'm picking up on the weather, I'm picking up on what's coming in 10 minutes from now, I'm picking up on what's happening right now in this room with my dog laying over there and the sun coming in and I feel a cloud coming. I'm sure it's gonna rain in a little bit. How do I filter? So this is the bonus one, is work on your filtering. Work on discernment. There are many ways where we can center ourselves. Just right now, you just center yourself. You come into center, and then you feel into what's useful for this moment. What's useful? Let's say you're working on a project. What's useful for this project? So you're not just this blown open wide, everything coming at you all of the time. You develop a filter, a filtering system. You create this in your psyche, in your energetic field, in your nervous system, a filter. This is useful, this is valuable, this is just someone else's wanting to throw up on me, that not useful, this is something that's not useful, okay, cool, feeling the collective, but that's not useful for what I'm focused on right now. I'm focused on loving my children. I'm focused on meditating for myself and my body. Not useful. Oh, here's one that's useful. This is a beautiful piece of guidance for my meditation. Not useful. So it's working on this beautiful discernment. It's not this layer of protection, right? It's not, because then we're negating the gift. We're who we are, our innate wiring. But what we're doing is we're working with it, and we're developing this healthy relationship to it where it's discerning. But it stops hurting us, right? Because when we shut it off, that hurts too, right? There's consequences to, like the big bubble of protection around us and nothing's getting in and I'm just in my own little hermit space, right? There's consequences to that. There's consequences to that. So that's my final tip on that. If this video served, I would love to hang out with you more. I would love to share more videos with you. Best way for you to do that is hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. If you liked it and you got something out of it, thumbs up is always awesome. And again, I would love to hear which number resonated most with you. Next thing to do, very next thing to do right now, go do the I am enough meditation. It will help you to embody all of this. It will deepen it. It will sink all of this in. It's very powerful. And the link again is up here or in the description below. All right, enjoy that meditation.